Greetings, Warriors! This is Matt Patrick. After looking over the roster of Disney's recent animated films, I realized, you know what? 2021 was considered a good year for Disney animated films quality-wise. From Pixar's Friendship Story and Luca to Lin-Manuel Miranda's beloved animated musical Encanto. But there is one Disney animated film that was considered the appetizer, while the others were the main course during that year. I am of course talking about Raya and the Last Dragon. This is one of those Disney animated films that people don't seem to talk about all that much. Back in 2021, Raya and the Last Dragon was Disney's second movie to be released in theaters and on Disney Plus with premium access during the pandemic. Before the movie was released, the film was inspired by traditional Southeast Asian cultures, where the fantasy kingdom known as Kumandra was modeled after the countries. And the name Raya, which in Malay stands for celebration. While the box office was obviously not doing any favors for the movie at the time, streaming on the other hand was nicer to it. When the movie was released on March 2021 on Disney Plus, it became the fourth watch movie of the week with a total watch of 355 million minutes. And when it was available with no extra cost on June 4th, it skyrocketed to 1 billion minutes of viewing and came in second place behind Netflix's Lucifer. However, Raya and the Last Dragon was ranked as the third most watched movie title of 2021 behind Luca and Moana. It was even nominated at various reward shows, including an Oscar for Best Animated Feature, but it lost to its own company's other movie, Encanto. And that is why I'm going to look over this hidden gem to see how well it holds up. Welcome to another episode of the Wonder Reviews. It's time to enter Kumandra and put the Dragon Gem back together. This is Raya and the Last Dragon. It's about a girl named Raya who lost her father to the dark spirits called the Droon and turned him into stone. This all happened because she was backstabbed by another girl named Namari from another tribe who wants the Dragon Gem for herself and her mom, the ruler of Fang. But the gem broke into pieces and the other tribes in Kumandra took them for power and everybody's at war with each other. Years later, Raya, played by Kelly Marie Tran, found the last dragon in existence named Sisu, voiced by Awkwafina. If they can find the missing pieces of the Dragon Gem, Sisu can regain her powers to stop the Droon and undo the dark magic. One of the major components I really enjoy from this movie is the world building of Kumandra, from exploring the 5 tribes to Legends of the Dragons. It explains everything what Kumandra was like before the Droon and the impact it left on everyone after the gem was broken, where the only way to save their home and loved ones is by working as a team, even if they are from different tribes. They can't solve the problem alone. This of course introduces the 2 messages that this movie tries to present, and they are unity and trust. If Raya and the others want to destroy the Droon, they would have to work together, which means they would have to come in peace and harmony. And trust is the most serious message to achieve that agreement. This particular moral reflects the characters such as Raya, Sisu, and Namari on who do they believe they can or should not have faith in. It can happen where the execution on trust does feel iffy because it raises some questions on Raya and Namari's bond, but for the rest of the characters, they handle their connections pretty well. There are 2 issues with the movie though. As it is a fetch quest story, it seems to follow a repetitive pattern throughout the characters' missions. They go to a new location, find a piece of the gem, a big obstacle comes after them, they escape, and a new ally joins the group. Rinse and repeat 3 or 4 times. And although this is meant to be a serious action movie, it does contain some humor, which is more like a mix. Sometimes they can be funny, but the others, like from Sisu, can get too over the top. As you can see... Huh? Okay, why is there a heffalump in the room? Oh, right. I get to the good time of Zen to address what people have been talking about, how similar this concept is to a popular cartoon, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like Raya and the Last Dragon, Airbender has taken some inspiration to Southeast Asia and does contain a theme of war. I get the comparisons, but at the same time, I never saw Raya as another Avatar. Just because they talk about war and have similar research to capture the environment doesn't automatically make it a Last Avatar clone. There are a bunch of notable and obvious differences in terms of storytelling whether you see in the show or not. 1. Nobody except Sisu has special powers. No one has the power to control natural elements like fire, earth, or wind. These elements don't play a big role at all. The closest we got is water, and that's because Sisu is a water dragon. 2nd, the characters don't share the same goals or traits as the Avatar characters. I don't recall anyone labeling these characters as another Aang, Katara, Fire Lord, or any other Avatar or Legend of Korra character. Even Namari, while similar to Zuko's arc, doesn't share the same struggles as him because she never brought dishonor to her family. She just wants what's best for her people. Third, this is not the first time this story has been told before, and it likely won't be the last. Even Avatar wasn't the first at all to talk about war and feature magical or natural elements. Before it, there was another popular cartoon called Shaolin Showdown, and before that cartoon, there was a beloved Studio Ghibli film called Princess Mononoke. I'm not trying to say which one is better, Mononoke, Raya, or Avatar. They all have amazing storylines, and you're welcome to say which ones do you like best. It's just that I'm reviewing Raya the Last Dragon as its own movie. Even though the tale had been told before, what matters is what can bring to the story that is new and good. Take Mitchell vs. the Machines, have the same road trip and robot overlord stories like a Goofy movie or X-Men Days of Future Past, but they tell it in their own funny ways and help make the Mitchells a genuine family. Coco has the theme of Day of the Dead and characters with a passion for music as the Book of Light, but their story structures, characters, and even motives are different from one another. Both of them are equally remarkable. They're all amazing in their own unique way. Going back to the characters, the movie does manage to make most of them likable. Even if they live in a world where everybody's divided, the people of Kumandra are well written and sometimes relatable with a personality of their own. Starting with Raya herself, she's the protagonist that wants to find the pieces of the Dragon Gem to destroy the Droon so she can free her dad from his stone prison. Ever since she spent years training and defending the gem through combat and got betrayed of what could have been her best friend, Raya has no idea who she can trust and she just wants to fix the mistake that took away her dad. Sisu, on the other hand, is the optimistic water dragon who blindly trusts anyone she encounters, hoping to become her best friend. There is an interesting contrast between Raya and Sisu on trusting others, and the Last Dragon has a good backstory on why she became the Last Dragon and wants to trust anyone. The only issue I would have with Sisu is that the quirky humor that she brings doesn't always stick to the landing. As for Tuk Tuk, he's just there to be the animal sidekick that likes to eat something. The best comedy would have to come from the side characters that the duo encounters. In fact, the rest of them are actually three-dimensional and memorable as the main leads. Boone is the captain of his catering boat, but he lost his family to the Droon. Noi is a baby who lost her parents, so she gets raised by monkeys and becomes a thief using her cuteness as a distraction. And Tung is the lonely warrior and sole survivor of his tribe who is actually a gentle giant. Then you have Namari, Raya's biggest rival that wants the Dragon Gem for the Kingdom of Fang. She has an antagonistic role, but she's not an overall evil villain. She wants what's best for her tribe and possibly unite Kumandra, but her mother has other plans to make Fang feel safe and stronger, which causes Namari not to trust anyone, even a dragon nerd. I will also give credit that the voice acting is really good, like Kelly Marie Tran, Benedict Wong, Sandra Oh, Gemma Chan, and even Awkwafina when there are no jokes involved in the story. So after going through the plot and characters by themselves, how does the animation look on its own? Regardless what you think of Raya the Last Dragon as a whole, the animation is the highlight of the movie. I'll even say it's on par with Disney's other recent beloved films like Frozen, Encanto, and Moana. When it comes to Kumandra itself, all the 5 tribes are amazing to look at and you can tell them apart easily since they live in separate environments. These include the village of Tail, where it's a giant desert with stone temples, Talon is a marketplace surrounded by water, Spine is a discarded fortress inside a winter forest, Fang is a utopian-like city, and Heart is basically the centerpiece of Kumandra filled with natural green colors. With the character designs and animation, the movements are smooth and realistic while the rest of the characters look amazing and give each of their respective homes and outfit a color scheme such as green, purple, yellow, gold, and gray. While the other creatures such as Tuk Tuk, the dragons, and monkeys have scaly and hairy textures. The visual effects also make some of the natural elements like sand, rocks, trees, and water look lifelike. However, it can be visually pleasing whenever the Droon infect Kumandra or when Sisu uses her dragon powers like water jumping. Another element that's pretty cool is the use of puppetry at the beginning to tell the story of how Kumandra became divided. But it wouldn't be an action movie with some intense action scenes. There's a lot of chase scenes and martial arts that went into this and they're well choreographed. And sometimes there are some creative scenarios on how the characters escape from danger. Again, whenever the characters visit these places, I can tell them apart easily through colors and natural elements. It must have taken a lot of hard work to bring this anime world to life. So after going through the trials and tribulations of trusting others and restoring peace to Kumandra, is it worth seeing the kingdom and all of its characters? Well, if I can be honest, yes, it is. Raya and the Last Dragon is an awesome action Disney movie. While there are a few problems with it, like mixed humor and repetitive story structure, but it still has fascinating animation, likable characters, some amazing world building, and a good message of trust and unity. If you're looking for a good Disney action movie like Mulan or Big Hero 6, I recommend checking this out. Has this concept been done before? Yes. Does it really ruin the movie itself? Not really. As long as that familiar concept is in the right hands, it can still work and bring out something new and different. That's what makes a movie its own movie. I give The Last Dragon an A-, and it's trustworthy enough to earn the Diploma of Destiny. I'm Matt Harpatrick. Now if you'll excuse me, June is coming. And it can only mean one thing: Multiverse Month! Yep, still hurts the atoms. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.